Sonic X Shadow Generations is releasing in about a week, and I'll be honest, we're all so hyped about the Shadow stuff that I think a lot of us forgot that, we're actually getting a Sonic Generations remaster. Yeah, remember that? Remember Sonic Generations? Well, that's getting remastered too, and that's awesome. Originally, we're like, oh my gosh, Sonic Generations remaster, and we get some side Shadow stuff. And now we're like, oh, yeah, we're also getting a Sonic Generations remaster with our Shadow game. That's pretty cool, right? And while Shadow Generations definitely does take all the spotlight, let's not forget that Sonic Generations is still a fantastic game, is a Sonic game that is very near and dear to my heart, because I remember getting that game Christmas 2011, man, those were the good days. But it's very important, like for Shadow Generations, to give a video about what I think this remaster needs. And now, out of all the Sonic games that get remastered, Generations is, I wouldn't say the least deserving, but it's the one that doesn't really need one. Sonic Generations were released when Sega was actually like doing really good with Sonic games, and I don't think there's anything that needs to be massively overhauled, but there is a few things that they can do that make Sonic Generations an even better experience. Starting off here, I want there to be upscaled textures and fix the cutscenes, and while looking great for its time, the textures are due for some upscaling. Notably, they look pretty low res on Xbox Series X and modern PCs, and I'm not really sure if they're converting Sonic Generations to Hedgehog Engine 2. It kind of seems that way considering Shadow Generations is Hedgehog Engine 2. Unfortunately, they haven't confirmed whether it is or not, but I don't think upscaling the textures are going to be too hard considering they use these assets all the time in Forces, in Frontiers, the works, probably somewhere in Shadow Generations. So yeah, they can 100% do it, and I really hope so. And now touching on the cutscenes, even in 2011, the cutscenes were super low res and very pixelated, so I really hope they can go in and upscale everything and make it look crystal clear. We have seen some screenshots where it does look clear and they added the chows and stuff like that, so that's cool. I just hope that it does translate well in game and it looks normal. And next up, I think the game needs to have customizable controls. Now, we already know you can switch between the original or the Frontier style where boost is on the trigger and the homing attack is on square or X, but I do think the controls need to be 100% customizable. Just map it on each button you want, because that just gives people the freedom, the choice, and more options, the better. Because I don't know about you guys, but going back and forth between all the games, like playing Unleashed and homing attack is on X or square, and then going to Sonic Generations where it's on A or X, it is just so confusing sometimes going through all the games all at once. So yeah, I think customizable controls would be the perfect way to do that, because people are going from Frontiers will know what to do, and people going from Unleashed will know what to do, and everyone can have their cake and eat it too. And up next, I want to cover the possible redub. Now, rumor has it, and I repeat, rumor has it, that we might get a possible rewrite and redub by Ian Flynn and everyone who did the characters originally. Now, I'm actually very open to this, because the biggest issue with Sonic Generations, and everyone at the time could attest, is that the writing was not great and the story is very lackluster. Even 90s old heads said the game had a poor story, so Ian Flynn rewriting it can actually do a lot for the game. Now, logically, a lot of people are a bit concerned because he's a bit over-referencey and he just, I like Ian Flynn, but there's definitely, like, a very weird style that he has, and a lot of people are worried that it's gonna end up like
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is a 1994 platform game.
But hear me out, at least for a second. I think that his over-referencey style can actually work from Sonic Generations, considering that Sonic Generations is a game that is about references and it's about the past. So this one time, I think Ian Flynn being over-referencey could actually work. My biggest hope for that is if it feels natural. I don't want it to be out of place. I don't want Sonic to be like standing in the white void and be like, huh, this reminds me of X Zone that had white in it. You know, just have it feel natural. If they're going to talk about West Side Island, for example, have it feel right, have it be kind of logical within the story. Don't just bring up Sonic going, oh, don't worry, Tails, remember that one time where you saved Station Square? I don't know, just have it feel natural, have the direction be natural, don't just emphasize it, have it be logical in conversation. And there's also a possibility of them adding new lines in the game in general, because the Generations cutscenes felt very unfinished. When the character is saved, they'll talk to Sonic, and Sonic doesn't really react or talk much, he just kind of gives a thumb up or crosses arms. I think if they could add some lines there where Sonic talks, I think that would be pretty cool too. And another problem that a redub would probably have is the lip movements. They would have to kind of readjust the mouth movements to accommodate for the new lines, if so that happens. We'll see though, we'll see if that happens. If that happens. And next up, I feel like should be a little bit obvious, but have the game be in 4K. 4K is awesome, and I think this is already confirmed to not be the case, but I would really like to see if the game could go beyond 60 FPS, maybe 120 FPS, maybe 100. I don't know, just the smoother the better. The more reaction time you have, the better usually. If a Sonic game goes below 60, then it's just practically unplayable to most people. So having over 100 frames per second would be pretty cool, maybe. Now that we talked about the quality of life improvements, let's get into the stuff I want to see add or changed about the original Sonic Generations. Firstly, let's just get this one out of the way. I want any new additions to the game to feel natural, like they were always there. Unlike the Jade Wisp from Sonic Colors, it felt so forced in. Whenever I used it, it was almost like a really shitty mod. Like a mod you would put on just to go, oh, that's cool, and then uninstall and never use ever again. It felt so weird. I hate it. I don't want anything like that in Generations. I know they're adding the Chow and they're having Chow missions, and from the footage we've seen, it looks like it works pretty well and they look like they've always been there. And it's really odd to see in comparison to Colors Ultimate. Like, what the hell happened with that game, man? From the stuff that we know is going to get added, firstly, the drop dash. The drop dash was in Forces and it controlled like shit, but I have seen footage of classic Sonic using the drop dash, and wow, it looks amazing. Right down to like the Badnik bouncing, because you can actually Badnik bounce like you can in Sonic Mania and Superstars, and I've played those games many times, and when you're doing the drop dash and you bounce on an enemy, you can kind of do like a little bounce, and that's in Generations from the footage we've seen. Hopefully you'll be seeing that on screen. That's awesome. That is sick. And I can't really say the same for Modern Sonic, because yes, Modern Sonic does actually have the drop dash as well, and I don't really like the way it looks because it doesn't really serve a purpose. Modern Sonic doesn't have a use for the drop dash, maybe not in 3D, possibly 2D, but it just looks weird, and I really hope that it's not like Frontiers, because Frontiers drop dash was really bad. Really bad. And I was expecting them to add the double jump from Frontiers and Colors, but it doesn't seem like they are, and I think that's pretty interesting. But the drop dash, if anything, is a cool novelty, just to say, hey, Sonic has the drop dash. I don't think it's gonna be very useful though. I just hope that it feels like it was always in the game to begin with. And next up, I want to touch upon some of the glitches that were in the original Generations and how I think it should be fixed. The original Generations did have a few glitches, a few popular ones that are well known, and personally speaking, out of the 13 years, oh my gosh, it was, wow, 13 years, that I've been playing Sonic Generations, I've never encountered a single glitch. Like, I'm being completely serious. I think Sonic Generations is one of the most polished Sonic games of all time, but every game has a glitch. Generations is no exception to that rule, so anything that was in the original Generations that was bad and buggy, I do hope is fixed. Actually, I kind of semi-lied, because recently I replayed Generations on my brother's Series X, and I did notice that the game is not very well optimized for that console. I did encounter a few little bugs I have never seen before on all the consoles I've played Generations on. That includes the 360, PS3, and mainly PC. I put a lot of time with the PC version, never had any of those bugs. Hopefully that is all fixed with Sonic X Shadow Generations. I don't see why it wouldn't. If not, that would be a pretty big bummer. And now we're getting into a little personal nitpick I had with Generations ever since I was a child. I really hope they place the shields and elemental shield throughout the stages as classic Sonic instead of being equipable in the shop, because I never understood that decision. I hate equipping shields in a shop. I think that is absolutely stupid. I hate having to use the shields as if they're like some sort of equipable gun. I don't know, I just think that's so stupid. And Sonic 3, what made that game so great is the fact that elemental shields were spread throughout the level design, and it would help you. If you needed to get up higher, you get the electric shield and you could bounce up. If you needed to break through some rocks, rocks, you get the fire shield, and in the water, the bubble shield, and that could really benefit Sonic Generations classic Sonic level design, because there is times in those games where those shields are useful because they're all equipable in the shop. And even the original shield, if they want to put that in just to have a shield to protect because Sonic can go pretty fast in Generations, I think that'd be cool too. As modern, I don't think they would serve any use, maybe just the regular shield, but I don't see why the whole equip thing was ever like a thing. It just makes no sense to me. In Mania, all of them were there, and Superstars, only the regular shield was there, which pisses me off. But hey, we're not talking about that. I don't know, I just think it would add so much to that classic Sonic level design. Let's just say if you're in Seaside Hill and you go in the water and you find a bubble shield, you don't have to worry about stopping for every 2 seconds. And if you're in Crisis City, if you fall into lava, if you have a fire shield, there you go. Or you're in Speed Highway and you see one of those spinner guys with the electric thing around it, you get the electric shield, bounce right on them. Boom. That would be great, and it's skill use too, because as I said in the Sonic 3 review, you have to keep those shields in order to use them. For everything they're strong against, they have a weakness. That can also apply in Sonic Generations level design if they just spread them throughout the level. If they can do it for the Chow, they can do it for the shields. Now we have some small stuff. I want new songs, new items in the item shop, and potentially more skins. What new items would I like to see? I'm not really too sure. Maybe something to replace the elemental shields. Maybe one where Classic Sonic gets the boost or something crazy. Something wild like that. Something crazy. As for songs, give us Forces, Mania, Superstars, Frontier songs, Lost World songs, you know, anything that came out after Generations. Put the songs in there. Let me jam to some of the Titan themes while going through some modern Sonic stages. That'd be sick. And as for skins, give us some SA2 skins, some Sonic Hero skins, some classic Sonic skins, possibly like maybe to look like the OVA art or the CD intro art. Pretty much anything. Just give us anything. Any new skins, anything they want to do, anything crazy. Maybe Lego skins, see that they're doing the whole Lego collaboration. Do something like that, cell shaded stuff. Just do it. Go balls to the wall. Go crazy. And next up, we have possible new stages. I'm not really sure if this is possible or not, considering Generations and Shadow Generations have different physics, and we don't know if Generations being converted to Hedgehog Engine 2, so I'm not banking on this one, but if possible, I would love to see stages from Mania, Superstars, Forces, Frontiers, maybe Lost World. Actually, let's not do that one. And in nothing original, I think they could rework the Shadow stages for Sonic, maybe review like the Toon Power sections and stuff like that and make it playable as Sonic. That'd be pretty cool. And last but not least, this is the most important thing I want for Sonic Generations. If this remaster doesn't have this one little thing, I'm taking every single copy I'm buying and throwing it in the fucking trash. You know the Sonic CD twirl sprite? Please, please, please bring that in. It's a necessity. Mania, Superstars, and Sonic Forces had it. You don't want to be outdone by Sonic Forces. This is integral to make this game playable. Please. When classic Sonic twirls on a spring, it is so fun to watch. It is so awesome. Forces has it. Let's not forget that. Sonic Forces has it. It is so easy to put it in there. I know you can do it, Sega. Please. Come on. And that's about it, guys. What do you want out of Sonic Generations Remastered? It could be anything. Please let me know in the comment section. Again, I love reading every single comment you guys do. The support in the recent videos have been amazing, and I'm very much looking forward to playing Shadow Generations Monday night. I'm going to cover it for the channel. I'm going to do the review, going to do a live stream. So excited to share this new game with you guys, and it's been a fun experience in general. So thank you all for the support. Love you all, and I'll see you guys next time.